Hey guys, how's it going? Ghosty Rich here today, and today we're going to be swapping up the front struts on this Chevy S10 2003. So first thing you're going to want to do is put on a 19 and loosen all of these covers if yours still has them. If not, then you don't have to do this process, but get these covers off so we can access the lugs. Once you get them a couple turns, you should be able to pretty much unscrew these by hand. Once you've gone ahead and you've taken those covers off, go ahead, slide the 19 back on top of here. See if I can line this up. Again, yay for one-handed army. And then go ahead, crack these loose. Do not take these out. Just, while they're here, crack them all loose. And the reason why is because when we lift it, if you're trying to break these loose, you're gonna hate life. So, now that we've gone ahead, done all that, next thing we gotta do is jack up our vehicle. Let's show you where we jacked it up. Go underneath. I jacked it up here on the frame. We're gonna put our jack stand right there. We're gonna lower this slowly. As we lower it, yeah, just like that. So she's clicked into place. I like to actually leave the jack stand right there with the jack. You don't have to. If it's gonna get in your way, get rid of the jack, but double the protection. Whatever you do, don't just trust your jack just in case it rolls out of the way or anything like that. And of course, if it's a manual S10, please make sure your e-brake is on and chuck your back wheels. Pull out the rest of your nuts. After you get them out, then go ahead, pop off your tire, and then we can start inspecting stuff. Oh yeah, she's a little bit mucky in there. Now that we've seen our dirt level, if you want, you can even inspect your brake pads while you're in here. Since this is getting up there in age, I suggest a little bit of penetration fluid. Get it on those threads. Then we're gonna go underneath, and under you'll feel two more bolts. Let's see if I can show you. Right there, shoot those two bolts up in there. From there, go ahead, slide this on, and wow, a little bit of penetration fluid goes a long way. Just go ahead and loosen that off, and then do the same to the two bottom bolts. Now, I'm gonna warn you about something. As you can see, I've put the jack underneath and it's supporting this. So that way, we can pull that bolt off and we'll slowly be able to actually drop it out. It's not gonna just slam this down, possibly move the coil spring. That's not the biggest deal if the spring moves. We just have to make sure that it's sitting back in the seat. Just like so. Like I said, just make sure the heat is getting on that bolt, get her nice and toasty. You can rotate a little bit if you want to. Just don't rotate into that wiring harness. Even though it's got a heat shield on it, I still don't trust. All fails, a little bit of heat. Make sure you heat up that nut, but you do not get that wiring harness. Pair of vice grips, and then you should be able to get this nice and loose. And go ahead and start cranking it. Now, if you wreck the threads, not a big deal. Get the nut up to there, and then take a reciprocating saw and cut the head of the bolt off under the nut. Let's take off the bottom two, because when we take off those bottom two, we should be able to compress the strut so we can at least get enough room in here, because I have a feeling we're just gonna sawzall it right off. As you can see, we're gonna separate this with the flat blade and then sawzall to pretty close to the flat blade, and then we'll swap sides, and then the tip will be off, and then we should be able to get that out. There you go. You can see red Loctite on the tip of that. Someone wanted to make sure she never comes down. I don't blame them, but look at how dead that is. Wait, isn't it supposed to come back? Well, yes it is, but guess what it's not doing? Coming back. So don't reuse any of that hardware. We're actually gonna go down to the hardware store. This new one that we got did not come with new speed clips for the bottom, which clip on the metal right here, which the bolt goes through. Though both those speed clips had disintegrated. So again, what you might have to do is jam something against that speed clip as you pull the screw out. If that one breaks, that's all we did, and they came out. But yeah, don't try to reuse any of these bushings or anything. It's dead. Once I get those new speed clips, I'll show you how they slide in. We're probably gonna get new bolts for the bottom too. This kit, once again, didn't come with new bolts for the bottom, but it did come with the new hardware for the top. If you take a look here, you need to buy these. Comes in a 2-pack. They have to be an 8 mil or 8 millimeter, and again, if you just grab those, then you can swap out those speed clips that are holding in those bottom two right here. So make sure you just slide them off if they didn't break off, and then just slide the new ones on, because trust me, if these fail, it sucks. As you can see, new clips are installed, pushed all the way over this way and lined up. That way our round housing can fit through there. Now, let's show you what you need to do with your new one. First, take it like so, put it on a bit of an angle, put your first rubber like that, and then you can go ahead and you'll see this is kind of pancaked out. It goes like this, slide this in, and then after this slides up and in, we'll put those two bottom bolts on. And then when we're done that, when we come up to the top, we'll slap on the next rubber and the next spacer in the nut. Go ahead here, once you have that tip sticking out, kind of hard to see, but either way, slide the rubber on. Now that the rubber's on, new metal disc on this side, and we're going to just put these bolts just like so. Now the good news is because these aren't worn out, we should be able to torque this one to spec. Give me 1 second, I'll give you the torque specs for the bottom and the top. On those two bottom nuts, put them to 20 foot-pounds, and up on top here, just go as tight as you can go before it starts spinning, and then after it does, you can start tightening it up a bit more. You don't have to go He-Man on this. It's literally like 100 to 105 inch-pounds. So if you have an inch-pound torque wrench, go ahead and tighten that up. But again, I don't think you're gonna even get it to that. I think you'll get it to about 100, and then what'll end up happening is it'll start spinning. So go from there, and again, hold the tip lightly, and then tighten it up as much as you can if you really want to. The other thing you should do is use blue Loctite. If you want to go crazy and make it really painful again for yourself next time, go ahead and use red. If it starts to turn early, all I did is I used a crescent wrench right there, or an adjustable wrench, brought her down, slipped it onto the collar, and tightened it up. And then when I thought, okay, this is pretty darn close, I just cinched it up and put it to 105. So basically, I tightened it up, and then I checked it with my inch-pounds torque wrench, and it's over 105, so I know that's not going to go anywhere. But that's all you got to do. You don't even have to do that. Just basically, like I said, don't go He-Man. Just put it on here, get this bolt so it seats down, and you will feel it is nice and firm, and that is more than enough. If you go He-Man, you'll snap that stud off right here, and you will cry. Now that you've done that, and then if you want to, you can use your jack, lift this up, so it's starting to compress the strut. Make sure those are both at 20 foot-pounds, and then now we'll put our rim back on. Other thing to do, just in case you hit the dust shield with the jack, make sure you take a flat blade screwdriver and just go around and bend it away. And the reason why is because if it is touching, you're going to have some scraping when you go to drive away, and you'll wonder what it is, and that is what it is. And also, you might get a couple more bits fall out, like rocks that might have been jammed in there. All right, once you seat those down, just go ahead, and you don't, again, have to do it with an impact. You can do these by hand and then hit them with a wrench a little bit. And then what you're going to do after you finish your star pattern here is wait until you have the other side done, because chances are you have both wheels jacked up. And once the wheels are on the ground, you can then torque these to 80 to 100 foot-pounds, whatever you'd like to do, and do that in a star pattern. But that is how you swap out a strut on an S10 2003.